Alright, hey guys, we're back. Hole number 3 here. Not sure how we're going to go about playing this yet. I am going to, just in case we end up laying up, I'm going to put on B52. You know, I'm going to keep my long rough iron sand wedge for sure on this hole. Aside from that, we're going to go with some precision. In terms of a ball, I don't know yet. We'll just see what the wind is, what the angle is, and go from there. I do remember around, when was it, Christmas time? Was it Winter Links? Might have been the Winter Links tournament that we played here. And I remember being able to go at the green here. We had a wind angle that was, that's probably not the wind angle. I think you need a little bit more than that. Could be wrong. But, you know, we got a decent wind. Why don't I just, you know, try to go at this with some right curl, maybe about 6 topspin or so. And I'm just going to try to do it with, you know, landscape mode here. I'm just trying to visualize kind of the angle. I'm kind of thinking somewhere over here, but I'm not really sure. But let's just try this, see what it looks like. There you see a great ball to the left. You know, the most important thing is going to be touching the fairway first, which, check, we're good there. It looks like more topspin if we go at it this way. We're going to be able to get it up there. I'm assuming that I might need to take off some of that right spin as well, because it looks like, well, it does end up coming back to the left though, so that is something to keep in mind. But in terms of my spin, I probably should have put it up straight and maybe just like 3 to the left, and maybe with full spin there I would have actually been relatively close to pulling that off. You can see my angle looks pretty good in terms of direction. I have that going towards the hole. It's going to require, you know, definitely a relatively solid wind. So we had 18.3. The most we can have is 19.0. So keep in mind that we just had a very favorable wind. And you can see in terms of aggressive, you know, I'm about 10 yards from OB. So something to keep in mind. You know, I usually play that about 1.5 at max in the power. So here I'll play about 3 per ring. Here maybe 5 per ring. Maybe I'll go about 4 rings, and we'll have to play this off the fairway kind of like this with some backspin. And I might play about 4 rings here, give or take. Ah! That might have been an underplay. It might be, yeah, it was definitely. It was definitely an underplay. So the wind wasn't quite 4. It was probably more like 3 there. So but at the very least, I mean, you can see easy eagle. We don't have to worry about making that. I hate to start forfeiting out this early. Yeah, technically I don't have to, so I'm not going to. But you can see, especially if I get just a little bit better angle, if it just gives me a little bit more tailwind instead of side wind on that tee shot, we might really have a chance to get that down there towards the green. You know, and more than anything, what I did wrong there was my spin. I just didn't, you know, I didn't trust the top spin. I wanted to make sure, especially with an 18. I don't even remember if we had globes for this tournament. I can't remember. Oh yeah, I was going to make that. This might have been the first tournament before, like the last tournament before we actually officially got globes. So when we did this, and that's kind of what I was keeping in mind for, you know, in terms of length. I was sizing the shot up, and I just wasn't sure that I had enough comfortability to, you know, because I was over this green several times, last tournament, but I do remember it maybe being more downwind. I know we could get, you know, a little bit longer on our landing zone than what I could just do there. Let's see if I can't. So these lottery holes, this will kind of help me a little bit, just to kind of, you know, get me down the fairway. I'm going to use quite a bit of curl here. You can see I'm very close to max club. This is the one time that I'm going to have to curl it. So you're going to see me definitely do that here. In terms of a ring adjustment, you know, anytime you move to a lower target, you're not going to have to go as many rings. How many lower? I'm not sure. I'm going to try 13 rings, which is a severe underplay. But, you know, being at such a low target could, you know, keep the ball out of the wind. And it looks pretty spot on, if you ask me. And you can see, you know, this is much better than my last. Oh, no! I just got completely robbed with that bounce. So that's not supposed to bounce like that off the fringe. That was a complete glitch that just completely ruined my shot. I was about to have run out to about a yard, and then it hopped down on that last fringe and took a complete turd bounce. So a little bad on the luck there. What I was about to say is my shot stuck. But you can see, you know, especially with what I did ring-wise, you know, always keep that in mind if you have weird winds like that. You know, and the same thing applies to what we just did, the opposite. When we moved way to higher ground, you know, that really can dictate the way that the ball's going to travel. You're getting higher up, you know, you're making your shot arc higher. But at the same time, you're also hitting to an incline when you're aiming up that way. So sometimes the wind doesn't quite play the way that you want it to. So these are all factors that you need to keep in mind. Ooh, bad break. Not sure what happened there. But that's exactly what I'm talking about. When you point way up at I don't even know what my opponent did there, but you know, when you go down to the lower target, just be careful. And, you know, I think you'll give yourself a good run there on those holes. If you're always constantly thinking about that, you know, it's going to improve your shootout performance, in my opinion. So good luck there, guys. See you guys on hole 4 coming.